fame, and so that's a vapid thing.
Which is now meaningless.
Meaningless.
It has no meaning.
Hawk Tua.
No meaning.
She's more famous than most actors on television.
It has no
years.
meaning because it isn't assigned anymore based on anything.
Right. It's not talent. Like,
right.
You're not Hendrix. You're just some person. And you have a Twitch
channel. There are
channel.
people that are very talented, but then there are people also that are just, they're good at getting famous and staying famous.
Right.
And some of it, like this family that screams and yells in a Costco. And they sing songs in a Costco. Mm. That's their whole thing. And they've been on the Tonight Show, and they're
really.
You've never seen the Costco family?
No.
The Costco family is a family of cretins from Florida, and they scream and yell, and they have a song about Costco, and they eat these cookies. I mean, can you please back me up here because he thinks I'm making this up?
How do I not know about this?
That's the thing. They bring the boom.
They bring the boom. They
bring
have
the
a whole,
boom, Joe?
They have a whole show.
They bring the boom?
I think they're demons, and it's an incantation because they go, double chocolate cookie. And I think it's a demonic incantation. And I believe they're the physical representation of an entity called Baal. And Roseanne talks about this.
What?
Look at this.
That's what we do. We bring the boom. We bring the boom to you. We bring the
But this is an evolution. They got to the song.
Wait a minute, how many views are on this?
I mean, well, this is just the YouTube version.
These are famous
Instagram.
people, and this is something is wrong. This is as disturbing as the drones.
Well, here's the thing about TikTok and the thing about Reels and even Twitter to a certain extent. When you're just scrolling from video to video to video, like it doesn't have to be good to get your attention.
No, it's the cringe element of it is what makes, because every view is created equal.
Right.
So if you're repulsed by something and you keep showing it to people.
Right.
So that's how you got this family. Can you play their song?
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, Jamie, this is worse than the drones. And they're literally well known.
Do Christmas boom?
Yeah. I mean, this is like.
It's giving me ads for some reason right now.
YouTube wants money.
They just broke through the ad blocker.
Give me that money.
I mean, don't they ever have enough, these people?
Here we go.
This is satanic.
They stay on brand.
So the boom here.
These guys deserve all the money in the world.
They eat this garbage, and then they rate it on a boom meter. So they go eat this chicken bacon.
How
Costco.
famous are these people?
Very. I mean,
They're like very famous. Joe, it's
fame right now. Very famous. They're everywhere. I mean, this guy used to be a pro wrestler.
Maybe China should.
Okay.
Maybe China should.
So he knows
take
how
over.
to perform.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But it's like.
See, look, Mr. Beast bringing the double chunk chocolate cookie.
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie.
I mean, this is.
What is that?
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie.
It's an incantation. It's demonic.
Well, that's why the drones are here. It's a signal.
But by the way,
Imagine
it is
that's a signal.
time. Like, as much as I don't want this to happen, like, it is time.
Don't you kind of want it to happen, though?
It might need to.
If it's aliens, I kind of want it to happen.
I think it might. They might have said, we're not doing that, the aliens. They might have heard double chocolate. and the aliens went, no, you fucking retards. We gave you technology thousands of years ago to figure it out. We visited the Sumerians. We gave them stuff, and you've used it to go to Costco. Enough.
Julian Assange has been in captivity for he's been held, hostage for 10 years, I think, about 10 years. And he's been psychologically tortured and perhaps physically tortured. We don't know. No one is calling this out. No major media that I've seen has really been defending Julian Assange, and we know all the reasons for that. We've listed them in this program already. Is there any hope for Julian Assange? Is there any way that he's released, or has he been so broken at this point that, even if he was released, it's like they've kind of accomplished what they were looking to do?
I don't know for sure. The last time I saw Julian was in 2018 or 2019 when I went to London and spent 3 straight days with him in the embassy. And he, at that time, was very lucid, very cogent, like in good spirits. But that was before he was in prison. He was still at the embassy, although he was looking very pallid. I mean, you know, he hasn't been outside in 10 years, right? Like even prisoners in horrible American jails get to walk around in the sun for like a half an hour a day. Julian he literally hasn't touched the sun or seen the sun in 10 years. He probably now has in prison, maybe a little bit, but when he was at the embassy, he was confined to a room and a half, almost for a full decade. So his health was suffering. He couldn't exercise. He had no sun, which is a necessity. You know, the thing that angers me the most about the whole situation is, you know, as much as the media hates me, when I was doing the Snowden reporting, like in 2013 and 2014, and the Obama administration was getting very threatening, I couldn't leave Brazil for like a year. Most of the media was on my side and like defended me. Why? Because I had one foot in their world, right? Like I was at The Guardian, one of the oldest newspapers in the West. And then in 2019 and 2020, when I did this investigative reporting in Brazil that culminated in the indictment by the Brazilian government of me, the attempt to criminally prosecute me, as Bolsonaro, the president of Brazil, had threatened to do for months, most of the American media, almost all of the American media, in fact, manifested in my defense. Like the New York Times published editorials, you know, denouncing it. With Julian, it's completely different because he's never really had even one foot in that media clique. And they spent 5 years flamboyantly marching around, like prancing around as defenders of press freedom because Trump would like say some juvenile insult about Jim Acosta or post some like mean thing about Chuck Todd or Wolf Blitzer, and they would act like the First Amendment was imperiled. And here you have an actual grave threat to press freedom. The indictment that has been unsealed that the Biden administration is now pursuing, if it succeeds, it will criminalize investigative journalism, the relationship that, in fact, when the Bolsonaro government tried to criminally prosecute me in 2020, they used that as their model. The theory that the U.S. government is using against Assange is the one that the far-right government in Brazil tried to use against me, saying that my relationship with my source had crossed a line from passive receipt of information into an active role in the conspiracy to steal the information that I was reporting, which is exactly what they're using against Assange. So just out of self-interest, you would think American journalists who pretended for 5 years to be so devoted to defending press freedom, when it came to mean tweets about like blown dry CNN douchebags, would be protesting and demanding Biden drop the prosecution. But they're not. They either don't know about it, they don't care about it, or they're cheering it because they're infantile. And what it really is about, Tim, is just, it's pure professional jealousy. Julian Assange has broken more big stories in the last decade than all of those corporate media drones combined.
Right.
So he is what they pretend to be. And his existence kind of holds up a mirror showing what they really are. Like, why isn't the CIA and the FBI and the NSA devoted to imprisoning like Wolf Blitzer and Jim Acosta or like New York Times reporters? It's because they're not fucking threats to anybody.
Right.
They're servants. So the fact that they're doing it to Julian demonstrates who the real danger is.
And Jordan Peterson went into Rogan looking like Huckleberry Finn.
Well,
his pants were looked like he was in a river.
Well, he was in what was he in? Like a tux with a bow tie
and short pants.
He's like, it's not immediately clear to me why climate is climate. It's not immediately clear to me. He's been through it.
Yeah.
He's been through the ringer.
He's been through the ringer.
And he's a brilliant guy. He's a smart guy.
Yep.
But he looks right now like he's in his final form, which is a Batman villain. Like he seems to be.
He looks like he just took a break from a catering hall handing out fucking shellfish.
Yeah, he seems like an angry maitre d' at a Long Island Italian restaurant screaming about climate change.
Oh, you don't like your table? I told you it's the only table here. We don't have an innumerable amount of space. That's the problem with people. They think there's an innumerable amount of opportunities to eat. You can eat the eggplant rollatini, and you can eat it anywhere. It's not immediately clear to me if we put you in another table that you'd be having a better thing. The thing about Marxism and the Pareto principle is that eggplant rollatini in any society concentrates in the hands of fewer and fewer people. Well, that's correct, but it's actually so correct that you have no idea how correct it is. So it's an underestimation of the problem. Your table on the corner is an underestimation of the problem. Yeah.
You just walk away and you go like,
Rogan needs a new character. Like Rogan has these guys, but we need someone new. Who's a new professor? We need like a new professor.
Yeah.
Because he's great, but he's done it.
Right.
So we need like a new.
Yeah, who would it be?
I don't know. Like,
what other professor from some college you never heard about?
It's got to be from a small college that didn't matter to anyone, and they have to be the next guy.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot. The money's better.
Yeah.
The money's better online than it is at,
It's got to be like a college, like a small college.
Yeah.
And a video's got to go viral of like a lesbian beating him with a stick.
Yes.
Like just 3 lesbians beating him with a lacrosse stick.
Yeah, or just a bunch of students burning his book.
Yeah, burning his book, and they're like pushing his car. Like if you see a bunch of, and we can organize this, and perhaps it has been.
Yeah.
But you put someone in a car, and then the students are just like, you see the car going back and forth, and the professor's like,
just a bunch of kids with purple hair just pouring milkshakes on him as he screams.
And then he needs to emerge as like the next guy.
Yeah.
And it's got to be like the name has to be perfect.
Yes.
Like it's got to be like
the university's always like
Greenfield. Yeah.
Greenfield College.
Yeah. Greenfield College in Wisconsin. Dr. Eric von Schlossberg. Please welcome Dr. Eric von Schlossberg.
So you're an anthropologist, but let's talk about microbiology.
No, it'll be a guy. It'll be a gym teacher. Can it be a gym teacher? It has to be a guy whose like degree is in exercise science. Dr. Eric von Schlossberg from the University of Winnipeg, brutally beaten by 4 field dykes, and is now here to talk about his theory of
antimatter.
Yeah, why Galileo was a hack. Dr. Eric von Schlossberg, gym teacher, University of Winnipeg.
Let's talk black holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they've really opened up their fields of interest.
Yeah.
They really are.
Well, everybody, it's we always thought about doing a sketch that's funny where it's like a guy who's like has a mentor who's a professor, and he sits down with him. He's like, I want to let you know, thank you so much for everything you've done for me. And the professor's like, I'm trying to get on Logan Paul's show. And the guy's like, what do you, he goes like, are you like working on anything? And he goes, yeah, I'm working on getting on Impulsive. Can you get me on Impulsive?
Yeah.
And you go, well, I thought you were kind of like, weren't you working on a theory?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on a theory of not being broke.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I got a new theory called not being broke.
Yes.
And I'm trying to get my numbers up.
Yeah.
And he said a lot of valuable things. And we like Jordan. We've had Jordan on the show. But it's just, it's funny because this is a new archetype of guy. The like renegade professor, right?
Renegade professor.
Like back in the day, there were professors who were like protesting Vietnam.
Yes.
And everybody's like, you communist piece of shit. But a lot of them were like legit protesting a war in Vietnam. Wells Fargo employee found 4 days after she died in her cubicle. And by the way, this is actually a good, beautiful story. Because we know people are their happiest at work. And it's where they should live and where they should die. And no matter what others say, that woman loved that cubicle, and I'm sure she was happy to die in it. Let's take a look.
New tonight, a Wells Fargo employee dies at her desk and no one bats an eye. Now her coworkers are raising questions about how the Tempe, Arizona office addressed the tragic death. Jade Cunningham has the story.
There's sadness at this
Look at
Wells
that. By the way,
Fargo.
stop that. Stop that. Look at that. Look at that, huh? Look how beautiful that is. Where is that, Arizona?
Yeah, Tempe.
Tempe, Arizona desert. Wells Fargo. You park your car. You go, just another day in paradise. You walk in and you check out. And then your body rots for 4 days at the Tempe Wells Fargo.
In Tempe.
It's really, really heartbreaking. And I'm thinking, what if I were just sitting there? Like, nobody would check on me.
After the body of an employee was found at work, an associate who asked to remain anonymous for fear of retaliation says the situation is troubling.
Her boss had emailed her. He didn't receive a response. So they went to go check where she normally sits.
Stop that. I love the American workplace for fear of retaliation. A body's rotting for 4 days. And they go, if you talk to anyone about this, maybe they were having fun with the body. Does anyone think about that? They were doing a weekend at Bernie's. They're propping her up. Maybe she was a cunt. Maybe everybody hated her. Maybe she died, and then people were having fun with her, photocopying her ass, having fun. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just saying we have to look for explanations in times like this and explanations that make us feel better about the random, insane, chaotic nature of this thing that we are doing called life. Maybe this woman was one of these people that you just didn't. You know you're a cunt at work if no one goes near your desk for 4 days. Can you imagine what a friendless hell this woman lived in? No one went near her desk for 4 days. 4 days? No one went near her cubicle for 4 days. Do you know what a nightmare this woman must have been? Or she was either a nightmare or she was one of those women who like barely existed and you were just like, oh, every interaction's kind of awkward and forced. And you know what? I don't need to go near her. But it's weird that nobody. She's clearly not an essential component of Wells Fargo, Tempe branch. Let's watch a little bit more of that. Maybe it turns. Maybe it gets happy.
And that's how they found the body.
Tempe police say on August 20th, building security called authorities after finding a worker who was possibly dead. Officers went and identified the person as 60-year-old Denise Prudhomme.
To hear that she's just been sitting at the desk, like, that would make me feel, like, sick. And that nobody did anything. That was how she spent her last moments.
Police say there's nothing suspicious about the death, but still haven't confirmed many details about the time or manner of it. The employee says the lack of information from the bank has been especially frustrating.
I'm just wondering why they didn't formally address employees about it when this does affect everybody in the building.
Wells Fargo said in a statement, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic loss of our colleague at our Tempe office." It also states counselors are available to support employees and all further questions will be directed to police.
Ready? I'll be the Wells Fargo counselor and I'll also be the employee. Hi. Thank you for reaching out. How are you doing? Well, it's like, because the employees, it's Arizona. They're like a, it's like sad because like she's like died and shit and nobody like help her like that. Yeah. How does that make you feel? Makes me feel like sad. Like, what if I die and no one like comes to see me when I'm in like my cubicle? So you feel fear? Yeah, like sometimes I feel like scared that no one cares. Like sometimes our life, it feels like it has no meaning. We just do that Wells Fargo shit. And then people on the TV say Wells Fargo kind of like steal people money and shit. Well, I can't really speak to that. Well, there was some weird credit card shit. It's all over the news. I can't really speak to that. I can only speak to, your emotional, composition right now. I understand that you've just been through something. And I understand that it's tough. We all, this makes us all think about our lives. And it makes us all think that, we're alone, but you're not alone. You have me. The Wells Fargo team's always here to support you. You know that. But don't talk to anyone else about this. I saw you're talking to the
the news. And the thing is, nobody at the news is trained the way I'm trained to help you. I'm trained to help you. Yeah, like I just felt emotional, so like I talked to. No, I know. But the worst thing that could happen, and I mean the worst, is if you say something to the news and then people think that you're just, you're placing blame on the company. You wouldn't want that. No, like I don't blame them, but like maybe it is kind of their fault. Well, we don't want to say things like that. We don't want to go down that road. We don't want to open that door. We don't want to open that door because you know how big Wells Fargo is. They crush people like you like a bug. Look at me. They'll crush you like a bug. You know that. You know they crush you and your children. They'll kill your kids. They'll kill them in front of you. You know that, right? We'll kill you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you right now. Yo, what's happening right now? I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you, you stupid bitch. You say one more thing to the news, I'll fucking kill you. I'm kidding. What I think we need to do now, I'm telling you right now that it's very sad that happened, but I think it's beautiful. Getting over COVID-19, baby. I finally got it.
Did you eat a pangolin?
I don't know how I got it, but I just it was probably just because everybody I know has it. Everyone in LA has it. It's this.
But you're vaccinated, so it's helping you.
I mean, you know what's so funny is you could tell that no one has any trust in the vaccine because as soon as you tell people you have it, they're like, "Oh my God, oh my God," and I'm like, "Well, I'm vaccinated. I'm supposed to be okay, right?" They're like, "Dude, be careful." Literally, people were texting me. They're like, "Be careful." I'm like. And these are the same people that were like, you got to get vaxxed.
As soon as you get it, they're like, how long do you have?
Yeah. They're like, my aunt's texting me. She's like, it's scary. It's very scary. I'm like, I thought the whole idea was that you got the vaccine so that you wouldn't be inundated with texts like, are your affairs in order?
No one wants, people are addicted to the death drama now.
Yes.
We can't go back. We're not going to go back to like, occasionally someone dies and we just live our lives. If people don't have a death every day to talk about or someone dying or someone in the hospital, they're going to lose their minds.
It gives their lives meaning.
Yeah.
It gives their life
death culture now.
Yeah, it's a death culture. It's a good point. And what's interesting about having this is it is, worrisome. You try to stay off the internet when you have it, right? Because there's always like a case. There'll always be something to read about where you go, oh, fuck,
Right. There's always someone who's died of everything. Like everything out there you could die of, someone has.
Right. And what's interesting about COVID now is people act like it's the only thing killing people in America.
Right.
Like it's the only thing. This is a country, okay, that has mass shootings, an insanely high homicide rate, an opioid crisis, school shootings all the time, insane rates of cancer, heart disease, all kinds of problems, suicide, PTSD, untreated mental illness, horrible roads, traffic accidents. But people act like COVID is just the only danger out there.
Cops are finding hookers with like their throats cut, going, "Look, COVID's getting nasty." Which variant is this?
Yeah, which variant is this? Where I shoot an innocent black guy in a 7-Eleven parking lot? What variant is that? I don't know. I went and I got this monoclonal antibody infusion, which really helps. It's the same thing they gave to Trump. And,
right.
Being bigger. Now I'm going to try to really lose weight now because this is not going anywhere, COVID, clearly. And it's just going to be
you already
around.
survived COVID. Why lose the weight?
Well, I just think it's still it's a better idea. I got to prepare for whatever the next variant is going to be.
Sure.
The next variant's going to be like this. It's going to be hilarious. You're going to be like, not only does the vaccine not help the next variant, it hurts. They're going to be like, are you vaccinated? Well, then the next variant's going to fuck you up.
Watch the fuck out.
Right. So I went and I got this monoclonal antibody infusion. It's made by a company called Regeneron, which is
the thing that Trump got. Now, I don't know why it's not widely available. It is kind of like a miracle drug. I feel much better in under 48 hours. Really, I felt better in 24 hours.
I mean, it's hard to mass produce when you're based out of Argentina using old Nazi science.
Right. Well, but what's good about Texas is all the doctors here are QAnon. So they'll literally, they'll do anything, right? Yeah. Like when I went in, the doctor's like, did you get vaxxed? I was like, yeah. He was like, all right. Like he wasn't like, good for you. Or he goes, all right. So and then he goes like this. He goes, you want some ivermectin? And I went, well, I don't know. And he goes, how about this? He calls me up. He goes, why don't you go to a website? It's going to tell you all about the ivermectin.
He didn't even say what ivermectin is. He's just like, here, he's like, watch the trailer.
Yeah. He's like, have you seen Zeitgeist? No, he goes, he calls me, he goes, how are you doing after the antibodies? I said, good. He goes, okay. He goes, you want some ivermectin? And I went, well, I don't really know. I'm like, I don't know that I need it. I feel better. He goes, listen, just go to this website and it'll tell you all about it. He goes, these doctors, he goes, they're highly peer reviewed. He goes, they're well published. He goes, they're well known. And he goes, so I go to the website and I'm not saying anything about ivermectin. I'm sure it has success and the people that believe it or whatever. But like Brett Weinstein's being interviewed on this website.
Brett Weinstein's not a doctor, though.
He's not a doctor.
Like he's perhaps a doctor of something, but
whatever. He's like not a doctor. So it's very interesting. Like what? So I'm looking
at the YouTube link.
It's
if you want to take ivermectin, link in bio.
Yeah, no, it's literally a fucking, I forget what it's called. It's like the COVID Coalition or something.
Oh, that's
I forget the name of it. I wish I had the name of it, right? And it's like the let me try to find it. And it's a website where they just have all these different.
Is Gary V on there?
Okay, it's called COVIDcriticalcare.com. FLCCC Alliance, Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance. We thank you for your continued support.
This is starting to remind me of the mortgage crisis.
So if you go to this, it just is like a bunch of interviews with people, and one of them is Dr. Pierre Corey and Paul Marik discuss the suppression of good science and more with Brett Weinstein. Dr. Corey on how ivermectin defeats the variants, blah, blah, blah. So it's just so funny. I was like, okay, I'd never been told by a doctor before to go to a website.
You know why, though? It's because when the trial happens, and it's like, and so you advise Mr. Dillon to take ivermectin. Actually, to clarify, I sent him to a website. He made his own decisions. Like, there's no doctor advice going. It's like he's selling you a speedball.
Yeah, the doctor calls me and goes, listen, we've had a lot of success with a new drug. Have you heard of the Compound Media Network? I want you to log on to Compound Media. And, I mean, listen, maybe it works. I don't know. But I feel better. My oxygen levels are good. I'm walking 2 or 3 miles a day.
Did you take the ivermectin?
No, I have a script for it. I picked it up. I was like, hey, if I felt bad, I was going to take it. Right. It's like 7 pills a day or something.
That's a lot of pills.
It's a lot of pills. But I made it through. But you've never had this, as far as you know.
COVID? No, I'm a very healthy man, and I've managed to keep it at bay with my physical acumen.
Well, and you don't leave your home.
I leave occasionally. I mean, I go out to dinner. I go to the movies. I've seen 4 or 5 movies since they reopened.
How 1950s of you? You're like, I go to the dinner. I go to the movies. You know?
No, but I'll walk around. And my girlfriend, Lucy, she walks, she leaves the house a lot. So, if she caught it, I would get it. So, I mean, it's, I think it's not tearing through New York at the moment, but, I'm sure it will at some point again.
The doctor calls me back and he goes, I want you to watch a documentary. Sit down. He goes, sit down.
Do you know that Jesus is actually based on a Sumerian myth? Anyway, take this pill.
Do you know that Jesus
was based on Horus. Do you know that?
Oh, interesting. That's very interesting.
I'm like, can you take my blood pressure? He goes, sit down and relax for a little bit, okay?
You know, our money is not backed by gold. Did you know that?
It's backed by nothing. You understand?
It's like, hey, what do my platelets count look like?
Yeah.
Oh, that is slavery.
I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. It's the only way to keep the government in check. I'm like, I understand. Is my oxygen good? Is it above 95? What's the
thermite paint?
It's also some of these doctors in Texas, you go, where did you go to school? Like, because some of them go to, like, Texas Christian Academy of Jesus,
Well, the weird thing is, like, don't a lot of them go over, like, I know, like, when people come from other countries, they, like, their medical license can't transfer for some reason. But, like, aren't a lot of those guys, don't they go down to, like, South America to get their licenses a lot of the times? Isn't there a thing that they go to Brazil or they go to, like...
Is that true? I didn't know that.
I don't know. Or some... I think there's med schools in the Cayman Islands that, like, some of these guys go to.
Oh, my God.
Next to the banks that, like, fund all the money.
I mean, listen, I'm happy, though. I got the antibody infusion. Like, I am glad that they were like, let's throw everything at it.
Yeah, no one's taking chances with you. No one thinks you're fighting it off on your own.
That's not true. I'm white. This is disproportionately affecting people that are non-white.
Because they don't get the blood of the children injected into them like you did.
Well, I was given it because it's given. There is a group in Texas called the Society for the Preservation of White Men, and and that's literally. I'm not even kidding. That's who gave me the infusion. That's who paid for it.
What?
That's who paid for the infusion. I swear to you.
What? Why?
It's about preserving European heritage.
That sounds sketchy.
Is it?
A little bit. I'm not sure what we're getting at here.
That's the reason I was able to get this. It said to preserve the lineage of Europeans.
I mean, are you really what they want to preserve?
This is. I don't ask. I don't ask. So speaking of my mother, I want to show you these beautiful, beautiful things that my aunt just sent to me. I had no idea they existed. Make them big. Make everyone be able to see them. These are paintings. Get them up. Get both of them up. These are paintings that my mother did before she died. These are paintings. I believe they are maybe watercolor on canvas, acrylic on canvas. I don't know. They mean a lot to me. They're her last works. And they are incredibly emotional and mean a lot to me. We are selling them. And we're selling them because she would want them sold. And is it unreasonable to start the bidding at $25,000 for a dead artist with two works? For a Patricia Dillon original? What about five? Here's what I'll say. Tell me on social media the amount of money you are willing to pay for these paintings. I don't really want them. They don't fit the color scheme in my homes. No, they don't fit the color scheme in my homes. My aunt said, "Do you want them?" I said, "No, I'm working with designers and we can't fit this in. We can't fit it in." I've spoken to these people and there's very tough because there's a whole scheme. There's things that highlight other things and colors that bounce off you people. I couldn't even explain it to you. But it's just not going to work. And get the other one up with the palm trees. I think it's a little stronger. So again, if you want these Patricia Dillon originals, we can make, but it's going to cost money. I don't think it should be free. This is a recently deceased artist who has two works. Could we do a gallery show with two works?
Mm-hmm.
You could, right?
Like an exhibition, yeah.
Yes. Well, that might happen. I mean, I have an art dealer I should call. No, I don't think she'll answer, but I genuinely have an art dealer who, because I like art. I like art, and
Hi, Tim.
hi, Sophia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Let me ask you a question. This is crazy. My mother was kind of like an artist. She painted two things. She's recently deceased.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I appreciate it. She fought a long, hard battle. But she's got these two, like, beautiful things. I just want to show them to you. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, show me.
I want to show them to you because I don't know what you could do with them. But, like, you know, she was schizophrenic. And I know, I mean, not to be crass about it, but I know some of the art world likes stuff like that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because
most people have, like, mental health problems who are, like, artists do. Well, also in general, like,
yes.
society.
Well, and that's the thing, because I think it unlocks something that's a little brilliant. And there might be someone, you know, that, I mean, not even to monetize. I'm not concerned about the money, but somebody might look at this and go, there's some real value in it because of the schizophrenia.
Yeah, send it to me. I'd love to see.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Thank you. Are we not living in a, folks, are we not living in a great world? Folks, are we not living in a great world? I mean, the art world, is it not fun? Savage! She's a savage! She's a nut! I'm going to send these shit paintings to this person, this demon, and we're going to sell them to some rich fuck. But not the Sacklers. Not the not them. Not them. I'm going to sell my dead schizophrenic mother's paintings because the system's good. But not the Sacklers. My art dealer likes that. She goes, let's pimp out those synapses firing, but not quite meeting up. But not the Sackler French. Not good. The Sacklers. But these are on the block. They're going to the block. Fuck you. You know what? You're not messaging me on social media. We're going to do a show. This bitch, she's legit, this bitch. She's legit, you know it. We are doing a show for my dead mother's art. We're doing a show for my dead mother's art. If you're not into it, you're not into it. But people like that it's a schizophrenic. You fucking normie minds can't fucking comprehend. Because what my mother's painting there, she's not really painting a sailboat and palm trees. And you know what we need to do? We need to kind of dress these up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
These could sell for $100,000 each. If I get them, I'll get my aunt to send me them. And then instead of them just being these like shitty things, in the middle of it, we'll put like a bloody stencil of Richard Nixon's face. And I swear to God, I'm not kidding. You put a bloody stencil of Nixon's face and let it bleed and go, she's a Vietnam era schizophrenic. Shell it out. Shell it out. It's true.
No, it's true. Yeah.
It's absolutely true. It's amazingly true. I'm actually, to be honest with you, I'm sad there's only two. Let me call my aunt because frankly we might be getting more, and I am praying to God there's more. Give me more. What if we glued the Beanie Babies onto them? What if we glued the Beanie Babies on? Hi, Donna. Very quick question. Can't really talk long. Are those two paintings of my mother, are those the only paintings she's done? Are those her only works?
Wait, say that again?
Those two paintings that my mother did, are those her only works?
To mine, I might have one of my own, you know, that I have somewhere that I packed and brought.
I'll get all of her works. I want to do a gallery show. But, all right, I'll
even donate mine. I think mine looks just like the pine tree.
Get them all. I'll call you back. Thank you. We're in it, baby. Get them all. Get the space. Get these rich retards. They just got out of the U.S. Open. Start stenciling Richard Nixon's bloody face or some crap they'll like on my mother's kind of boring landscapes that are kind of uninspiring. Start stenciling something, kind of Banksy it up, sex it up. Let's do a gallery show of my dead schizophrenic mother's art. My mother, by the way, people that may be offended by this or think this is cold-hearted, there is nobody that would want her work to sell. How do you say, posthumously?
Posthumously, yeah.
There's nobody that would want her art to sell posthumously more than my mother. Nobody. My mother would be happy that I'm using the art that we found in her mental institution to enrich myself. And if you don't have a mother like that, then you got to get a new mama. You got to get a new mother. They want their work appreciated, and it doesn't have to be in their lifetime. That's a great thing about art. And if you think I'm kidding about this, you don't know me and have not watched this show. There will be I will do a gallery show in New York City of this woman's art. You have to just stencil the faces. Get me maybe a Henry Kissinger, Nixon. We got to do something. It's Vietnam. It's retro. Her mind was ruined. She was a hippie and it was fun, but her mind got, because we got to sell to the rich hippie contingent. They're older now. They're rich. They're wandering around Malibu or Soho. These are the people that, were these free love, wild types, now they're really excited about Pete Buttigieg. I like Pete Buttigieg. I like Mayor Pete. But, these are the people that were doing they were having fivesomes with Country Joe and the Fish. But now they're excited about Mayor Pete. It's like life can be long sometimes, and that's the problem. But these people that, those are the people that we're going for with kind of that 60s nostalgia. Give me a little warplane. You put a warplane in the middle of one of these. A stenciled warplane in red that it looks like blood. I'm telling you right now, we're in. That's all art is. It's fake. It's not real. I was reading this article and I sent it to Ben about children being medicated. And I took Adderall briefly when I was a youngster in 8th grade. And it just, I don't know, I just got a dry mouth. It didn't really work. I mean, I got a little speedy. But, the grades didn't go up. So I think my parents were like, okay, let's not do it anymore. But this is interesting. This teen was, and by the way, I think people need medication. So this isn't one of those things where I say no one needs medication. I think certain people need to be on their medication. I have them in my family and I know. But there is, this teen here was prescribed 10 psychiatric drugs. She's not alone. One morning in the fall of 2017, Renee Smith, a high school freshman on Long Island, New York. Interesting. Could not get out of bed, overwhelmed by the prospect of going to school. In the following days, her anxiety mounted into despair. I should have been happy, she later wrote, but I cried, screamed, begged the universe or whatever godly power to take away the pain of 1,000 men that was trapped inside my head. Intervention for her depression and anxiety came not from the divine, but from the pharmaceutical industry. The following spring, a psychiatrist prescribed Prozac, the medication we all associate with, depression. However, she kept taking it. The effect dissipated. She was prescribed an additional antidepressant, Effexor. During 2021, the year she graduated, she was prescribed 7 drugs. These included one for seizures and migraines, which she didn't have any of either one of those. But the drug can also be used to stabilize mood, and another to dull the side effects of the other medications, although it's mainly used for schizophrenia. She felt better on some days and deeply sad on others. Her senior yearbook photo shows her smiling broadly, quote, "But I feel terrible that day," said Miss Smith, who is now 19 and attends a local community college. "I've gotten good at wearing a mask." She had come to exemplify medical practice common among her generation, the simultaneous use of multiple heavy-duty psychiatric drugs. Psychiatrists and other clinicians emphasize that psychiatric drugs properly prescribed can be vital in stabilizing adolescents and saving the lives of suicidal teens, but these experts caution such medications are too readily doled out, often as an easy alternative to therapy that families cannot afford or find. So that's really an interesting thing. People, do we have better help this week?
I don't think we do, actually. Would have been nice.
Well, anyway, for a waste, people can't get therapy and they can't afford it. And the doctors are just cramming pills down the throats of a lot of people. every now and then you'll meet a kid that it needs to be immediately drugged, and you can tell. And I have friends with children where the child is like, hi, and you go, lock it in a cage. You go, put the drugs in it and lock it in a cage. Because some people have kids that have problems. You see? Big problems. Okay? Like one of my friend's kids, like he was on his tippy toes a lot. He would just, you ever meet a kid like that? They're on their tippy toes and they're going like this and going like, and you go, all right, that's not going to get solved by a catch in the front yard, right? Catch isn't going to help that, like throwing a ball. That's not going to help that. I didn't even know what it was. It was on their tippy toes. And then he would go like this and go. So in those rare instances, when it's not going to be solved with a game of catch or some wheat bread, it's not solved with taking away some ice cream. It's a real problem. You got to sedate the children. Drug them up. Put the drugs in them and put them in the cage because they're a problem. Hyperactive. I don't know, but you meet them every now and then. You're at a party. It's a nice barbecue. And then, it's like it's the running of the bulls. The barn door opens and out comes like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? And I don't know how it happened or what happened. But the kid's a fucking lunatic, and you go, if this kid's not medicated, they will kill somebody or themselves. They'll burn something down. They're a liability. Some kids are a liability, and they need to be drugged because they're fucking nuts. And I'm not a doctor, and that's not the clinical term, but that's what happens. You've seen some of these kids, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have hard times understanding what reality is. You explain to them that Roblox isn't real. It's not real life. They're like, what do you mean? But I'm in the game. My friends are in the game.
That's everybody. My point is when they're actually, that's not what I mean. What I mean is not a kid who's quietly playing a video game who thinks it's real. That's fine. Think it's real. Just shut up. My point is a kid who's like, you want to meet my dog? 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 You want to meet my... You know what I mean? Just where it's like, okay, I'll meet your dog later. I've already met your dog. Get the fuck away. Those people need to be drugged. Some of those kids, because some of those kids have severe issues. But then there are those other kids in school, and the kids who are like, they're sad. They're like, I'm sad, and I don't want it anymore. Like, I just don't want it. I'm so sad. And that's very sad. So maybe you give them a little pill. You give them a little blue pill and you go, take a walk around the track. Every town has a little track that no one uses. You to take a walk around the track and you have to take a little pill. Here's a little pill. Here's a little pill. You're a little overdramatic. But you can't give them like 13 types of medication. This is a problem. If you're really if you really have an issue where it's like, you're like, and I'm not trying to make light of these things because people they have genuine issues with depression, anxiety. My mother is a schizophrenic. I call it schizophonic because she's locked up now. So it's just fun. She doesn't really bother anyone. Key, please. But I get it. I've had anxiety myself. I have problems myself. So much of this is about, it's case by case. You know what I mean? So there's people that are severely anxious and depressed that need medication to function in life. And then there are people who are having situational depression who, with cognitive behavioral therapy, they can improve their lives greatly. That includes changes in diet. That includes maybe exercise. That includes moderation of drugs and or alcohol. Even marijuana, which everybody loves, can exacerbate underlying mental health issues. This is a fact, right? So not everybody is a well-adjusted person. There's a lot of people. I'm nuts, and everyone I know is nuts. Now, we're talented, but I'm telling you this. I know a lot of people that need to be on medication, and I'm not saying that medication's not good, but I'm also saying we are an over-medicated country Because there are certain, like sometimes I will eat something I shouldn't eat. If I eat like a big ice cream sundae, I feel happy. I go, oh, I like it. It feels good. But then you get tired. You go, oh, I'm sad now. Because the sugar high is over. The high of the sugar is over. The insulin crash comes. And then you're just like, oh, why did I do it? And then you're disgusted with yourself. And you're like, I've been bad. And you get upset and these negative feelings. And listen, that can happen with booze. It can happen with food. It can happen with any of these things, right? It can happen with laziness and sloth. If you don't want to accomplish the things you're doing, you then get disgusted and it becomes this negative feedback loop where you're like, I'm a piece of shit. Those are more situational things that can be helped by lifestyle changes and maybe some light medication. Tiny pill. Walk around the track. Walk around at 7:30 at night. Have a jasmine tea. Get in your bed. Nut. Get in your bed and don't be a nut. Now, there's some people that have deeper problems than that where it's very bad. I had a friend named Andrea. You know already it's going to be bad. You know already it's going to be bad. I liked Andrea a lot. She was a witch, a modern witch, a Wiccan, very mortal. And I liked Andrea a lot. She was fun. She was sick. When I was a young person, she was part of my group. My group included skaters, stoners, goths, and drug dealers. I guess they were jocks. I mean, some of them were, it's not like they weren't being drafted, but some of them were, able-bodied for sure, physical. They would fight people and brandish weapons when need be. But we had a big tent because drugs, and that's the beautiful things about drugs. That's why I recommend them, is that it is a great big tent. So you would have, and she was a lovely goth girl, and she had a big knife that she would cut herself with. Not always. Not always. Not in front of you. You understand what I'm saying? She was a witch. She wore all black, which I like. I still like that. She was a witch, and she cut herself with a big knife. And she had a lot of weed, and we all smoked weed with her. And when she was happy, when a depressed person is happy, it's so beautiful because they're not usually happy. She was manic. I believe she was manic depressive. And she would be and we would laugh. I mean, she was fun. There were times when we would just sit there in the back of the library because no one ever went in Long Island to the libraries. And many people use drugs there in the back of them because no one goes to them. And the people that work there don't really pay attention because no one goes to the library. Unless you're like an older, like a guy like my uncle who goes in and he's like, I want a book on Ulysses S. Grant. And it's like, hey, shut up. But he'll go in and get a book on Ulysses S. Grant and then go into the back room of his house and drink. But we'd be sitting in the back of the library, me, her, and my friend, and we would smoke pot and just start laughing so hard. Nobody even said anything. But it was just the fun, the humanity. And I believe she was in many mental institutions, over and over again. I think she's dead now. I think she's dead, but here's the thing. I don't know. She might be alive. She was a witch, and she had a big knife. My point is that there are people out there with problems. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's dead or not. If she's not dead, don't DM me. I don't play that game anymore. I've moved on. But the point is, what I am saying, and it's hard to make this coherent, but I think the people out here that are really connecting with it are understanding what I mean. What I mean is that this person had problems, but was a beautiful person that I believe now is dead, but I don't know. I don't know if she's dead or not. but fun times, somebody who would just giggle like a hyena. She would cackle like a mad woman and then run off with her knife into the night. These are the memories that if you're not making the memories, I think she's dead. My point is that you have to be careful with this medication because had we medicated her earlier on, those beautiful moments that we experienced, I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have been around. I hate to sound selfish about it, but she was a fun person. We met her like twice, 2 or 3 times. But when you're on drugs and you hang out with somebody, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, when you hung out with somebody, it was like all day, all night. People used to go out at 11 a.m. and get back at 5 a.m. All day, all night. There were different drugs for different hours. There was always nice weed in the golden hour, the gloaming, the sunset, and then the coke was at night. But I mean, or the hallucinogens or whatever you were doing that night. But, I was in the grocery store a few minutes ago and the guy was talking to his girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, they're all from the Bay Area. They're really into hallucinogens. They're like super smart guys. I'm hanging out with them this weekend. They always get into something fucking crazy. I'm like, the whole state's just drug addicts. The entire state is people that are just in some form of like psychosis. It's crazy. They're really smart guys from the Bay Area. They're like super into hallucinogens. I'm hanging out with them this weekend. They always get into something. And she was like, yeah. She goes, I only go out on Friday and Saturday nights. And he goes, that's really like respectable. That's like a California conversation. That's really respectable, you do. I only go out on Friday and Saturday nights. That's really respectable. They're from the Bay Area. They're very into hallucinogens. Yeah.
What do you think's happened to gay people? Let's talk about that for a minute because it's not fun anymore. It's moralism. I have to tell people how to live. It's very hard for me to take balls out of my mouth and then tell people how to live. I don't feel like it's my job. I like going to Florida and eating shrimp. But now people want me to go to libraries and talk to children and help them realize who they are. It's not my job and I don't care. So what is this? It used to be kind of fun. And now it's become this really office politics, bureaucratic, very language-driven kind of like, it's weird and strange, and I don't understand it, and I don't like it.
It's really sad. Like, whatever is shitty and cringy and repressive and weak about liberal politics, it finds its, like, lowest point, like its zenith, in gay institutional politics.
Right.
Which is really sad because like we're basically the same age. I think you're like 5 or 10 years older than I am, obviously.
How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
27. How old are you?
16. So you're wrong.
Yeah, so you're right. I stand corrected. So like I'm a little older than you.
Yes,
but
thank you.
Like when gay politics was subversive by necessity.
Harvey Milk.
Radical. And
yes.
Interesting. Yeah. And like Larry Kramer and
sure.
like AIDS activism.
Yes.
And
Andrew Sullivan to a degree as well.
Yeah. I mean, Andrew Sullivan was kind of like, ironically, the sort of like trying to be the Catholic conservative.
You need a gay conservative.
Culture.
That's why I like Caitlyn Jenner. You need someone in the community that just really likes the country club.
Yeah, well, and you also want like diversity, right? Like that's the whole point of a liberation movement is not to be constrained in captivity, but to be free in your expression of whatever you do. But ultimately, like the politics were more radical and interesting. We kind of went from like Larry Kramer to fucking Pete Buttigieg.
Right.
That's like for me the trajectory.
Yes.
But also the what's really happened for me, like in terms of the, you're talking about the reversals before on like foreign policy and imperialism with Rachel Maddow and Ann Coulter or whatever. It's also taken place culturally. When I was growing up, the people who wanted to control private behavior and culture was the right, like
Right.
Jerry Falwell and the moral majority. And like the transgression came from the left, like Sinead O'Connor ripping up a picture of the Pope on
Sure.
Saturday Night Live. And so the left always was the culturally transgressive movement of liberation. It came out of the 60s, obviously, as well, like the Summer of Love, right? And like hippies and all of that. The free speech movement as well. This is completely reversed. The cultural left in the United States has a longer list of rules for how you can date, how you can fuck, how you can like feel sexual attraction for somebody than the fucking Pope has with his encyclicals. Like they have all this like formula for who you can date and ages and like what you have to do, and they want to control everything. Everything is abuse, everything is harassment. It's like watching this mirror image where they have all become this like highly repressive movement that is unrecognizable to me, except with reference to what the evangelical and Christian right was in the 1980s.
Right.
It's going on too long, like The Irishman.
Yeah.
It could be edited.
Yeah.
Yeah. It needs an editor, this war. At this point,
I almost sort of going. I was in Romania. I almost sort of going to the Ukraine.
You were going to get tickets?
I was going to go to the Ukraine and go, is it even happening here?
Yeah.
But then people said it is. They're 30% of their infrastructure is done. So I said, okay. Like he's hitting them hard.
Yeah.
Water, power. They don't have Wi-Fi. Putin's hitting them now.
Yeah, he's
hitting them hard.
He's hitting them.
He's hitting them with the artillery.
Right. It could be Iranian drones or it could be his own drones. All I know is our media is telling us it's Iranian drones.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, because there was that whole thing in Iran where, and I don't know what that was, but everyone was posting about it. That woman in Iran, something happened to her, and that was sad.
Oh, are you talking about the revolution happening over there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of dragging on, too.
What is it? She had a cloak on, and she said, I don't want to do it today?
Yeah, I mean, she had the I always pronounce it wrong.
Hijab.
Hijab. She had hijab on.
Yeah.
She had the hijab on. And
or she didn't have it on. What?
She took it off.
She took it off.
And that's a no-no over there.
You got to keep it on.
It's a no-no over there to take it off. Over here, it's a rah-rah to put it on.
Put it on and you're in.
You're in, baby. Nike commercial.
You're getting a book deal.
Yeah.
So she took it off. What happened? Acid in the face?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it could have been acid in the face.
By the way, the gas digital producer, instead of like finding articles where this stuff's happening, he's just trying to sign into his email. He's just. Oh, there she is. That's sad. Well, but now you're bumming us out. We don't want that.
Well,
that's a bummer.
What happened?
What's that? That's a big bummer. She's laying there in the hospital. We're trying to do a comedy show. We're trying to do a comedy podcast. We don't need a picture of her in the hospital. That doesn't help.
Maybe
the sponsors won't like that. We're trying to sell underwear here for fat people.
He just maybe thought we were more visual.
Do we know what happened to her, good old producer? Do we know? It's they're saying she had a heart attack at a police station, collapsed, and fell into a coma. But that doesn't seem to be. She died.
I think that's.
Yeah, boy.
She's like in their revolution right now. That she's like their George Floyd, right? I think one.
Whoa!
I think one.
Now I get it.
Yeah, one side's going, "Hey, she fell," and the other side's going like, "I don't think she fell." One side's going like,
one side's going,
it's fentanyl. They go, I don't think it was. I saw a 9-minute video where a guy was going, I can't breathe, and you were kneeling on his neck. I think that had something to do with it.
Well, somebody sent me him swallowing a bag of drugs.
Oh.
Floyd. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, it could be.
Someone sent me something.
Yeah.
Someone.
But the knee on the neck probably didn't help.
Never good.
Never good.
So this woman is Iran's George Floyd.
Right.
That now you've put it in context
That's
for me.
the only way for us to understand it.
Because I never knew.
Yes.
And she had a heart attack at the police station.
She fell.
Which is a real unfortunate series of events. Or something else happened and that's why Iran it's really heating up.
Yeah, she was, doing the equivalent of cashing a check.
So here we go again. However, eyewitnesses, including women who were detained with Amini, reportedly said she was severely beaten and that she died as a result of police brutality, which is probably true. it's probably true.
Depends on who you ask.
Or not.
She fell into the stairs.
It could have been because maybe but maybe it wasn't that.
Right. I would guess it wasn't that.
Really?
Yeah, I would guess. Because they don't take too kindly to women taking off.
So you're saying she was beaten?
I'm saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. She was beaten.
Yeah.
To death.
I suspect.
I
suspect there's a chance. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say that there's a good chance because, I guess.
Well, by the way, whatever that is, we're not. Hey, we're on our. We think that is abhorrent, and we should We should do something. I don't know what we should do.
We should maybe make another commercial about it.
Well, there's got to be a way.
This would be a perfect time for Nike to make a follow-up commercial
of her or of something in Iran.
No, with how important it is
to wear the hijab.
To wear the hijab.
Yeah, and play tennis or something.
Yeah, this would be a perfect timing for it.
Yeah,
don't miss this opportunity.
Yeah,
this is like the 6 months right after 9/11. This is like true crimes.
And instead of just do it. When you're about to take the hijab off, Nike could go, think about it.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah. You don't have to. It doesn't have to just do it. It could be think it over.
Think about it before.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of tradition on your head that you're now taking off.
It's your choice. Put it on, put it off. That's
all you have.
So the commercial should be someone putting it on to play tennis.
That's right.
But then you show her taking it off.
Yeah.
And she doesn't fall into the stairs.
Yeah.
That's
or
what's good.
She's about to take it off, and then she starts thinking about her mother and grandmother and society, and that their rules do need to kind of be in place.
Right.
And she realizes that at the end of the day, the best thing she can do is go along with the plan.
Right.
Because sometimes that's just it's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on over there.
That's what's going on, is that the women
Here's the other thing, and I got to be honest, and this is going to probably make me sound like insensitive here. It's like, you don't have to wear the full one, right?
No, but it's like women. Like, I get what you're saying. It's like, okay, you guys are a little upset. You can't take them off if you want to, but we got a wage gap here.
Yeah. It's also like
everyone's got problems.
Nothing's perfect. It's not. Well, here's what I always go. This isn't my culture.
Yeah.
This is when people get angry at me.
Yeah.
They're like, "No, you don't understand." It's not my culture.
Right.
So the reality is, I don't tell them what to do.
Right.
Because I don't. It's not. We're not nothing to do with anything.
And also, that would be wrong of you to do.
It would be wrong.
That would be wrong.
As pumpkin fat whitey telling them. But here's the deal.
Yeah.
I don't go into sub-Saharan Africa where they're lobbing off clips and making stew and tell them what to do. Is that what I would do? No.
Anthony Bourdain it would be rude for him not to taste it.
He would go and eat it.
Yeah.
But I just say let people do what they do.
And it would be what is it?
I don't meddle.
It would be, what's it, ethnocentric.
Yes.
It would be ethnocentric to assume that you can say what's right or wrong.
But it kind of would. I know we're being sarcastic, but here's the deal. What are we supposed to do? Invade?
No.
And convince everyone to not lob the clits off and make the stew?
No.
Well, what's the point?
No.
Whatever makes you happy.
We're supposed to send...
Whatever makes you happy.
We send weapons. We have a defense industry that needs to unload some weapons.
I don't like the Ukraine was a country of white Nazis, and we've somehow made it into like it's a RuPaul's Drag Race.
Well, but
homosexuality was like basically illegal there up until 20 minutes ago, when it's now the most gay-friendly country of an ex-Soviet country. We just lie about what all these things are anyway.
But I'm sure there's a few Nazis in Russia too.
For sure, but Ukraine, it was like a massive thing. There was all kinds of things that they pulled down videos. It's just, they're into it.
Yeah, it's propaganda.
They're just into
wartime
it.
propaganda. What do you
think about this thing where they say Russians are being armed with Viagra to rape Ukrainians? That feels fake. That feels like propaganda.
I would sue if I was Viagra.
I mean, Russians are being, like, they're doing poorly on the battlefield anyway, and they're going, by the way, if you have extra time, go rape someone.
Yeah.
That seems like it's a little wacky. Does this go into World War III? You know a lot about history.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Ugly.
MTIM. Do you like that ridge? Do you like that ridge?
I have a beat prepared. Do you want to?
Do you really? Oh, yeah, you do?
Yeah, here we go.
Yo, Ridge wallet. Are you using an old leather wallet? Just stop it. Jussie Smollett. Faker. Liar. Get the new Ridge. That shit is fire. Stop talking about white genocide in South Africa. It might be an issue, but I don't know. It also might be a hysteria. Wuhan. Is it a bioweapon? Maybe. But stop your fucking schlepping and get a Ridge wallet. 9/11 didn't happen. The towers are still there. Thank you.